Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go and do our uranium daily technical analysis update. Give you my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. And we're diving right in. So we've got the SPUT Physical Uranium Trust. We are breaking to the upside of this pattern. We closed somewhat strong. I'd really like to see this thing close right at the top of its where it traded. But it's looking okay. It's looking good. We've broken to the upside. Uranium. This is the ETF, North Shore Global Uranium Mining. We've got kind of a slow leak off of sellers here. We've got some resistance support here. We've come down. There's some good support where I put the box. And we've had an up day today. We opened up, closed lower up. Momentum's kind of coming down a little bit. I do think that this is a good buying spot in this general vicinity down here. I do. Bannerman, we had an up day today. We opened up kind of flat where it closed. It did come back up and down. We are putting a little tail on this, and usually that's kind of the end, the marking of an end of a move. We'll probably put in, and I'm just guessing here, kind of a pattern that looks like this. If I can move it over. Let me do this. Let me get rid of that, move it over. And we're probably going to get like a pattern that does something like this, and then we move up. Something on the lines of that. And this pattern could be, you know, a little bit bigger, something on the lines of one of those. But I usually see that with a lot of the companies. They put in that type of pattern, and then we see a big move higher after it. So I think this is kind of, hopefully we're coming to some point where we're ending this consolidation pullback period. It's an A, B, kind of C correction. We could be already ended it, and we have that move where it ends here, and we get like this move that does that and then goes. I'm not an Elliott wave expert. I'm not pretending to be. Maybe I could study it quite a bit, but this one's got a similar pattern. We went through the same pattern. We've got like this move up, and then it has like a little consolidation move like this. We come up, come down, come back up, come down, come back up, and then we have that last little spike. Then you get this like move that does this, and then we go up again. There's your move, and then we come up again. That potentially could be the same pattern, and this pattern repeats over and over and over and over. You can even see the pattern in earlier stages back here and how it repeats over and over. And sometimes they're more pronounced where they pull back more. Sometimes they just go sideways. It really depends on the pattern and how much buyers and sellers. But GoviAx Uranium, that's where we're at. We're right at support, basically underneath this. There we go. Right underneath is the support line. I can even grab this guy and make it a little bit lower like that. But right at support, I don't know. If you guys like GoviAx, I would be looking around here. We've got big buying pressure, smaller selling pressure. I think we're probably going to try to find a bottom here if the markets hold up in general. Global Atomic, I mean, we've been moving in this pattern here. We've got support, hit support. We're getting close to this support. I mean, maybe we come back and tag it. Tough to say, but on a big long-term perspective, I mean, this thing's, man. It's about right there. If you contact the lines, I mean, that's where we're at. This thing's had a monster run, guys, so it may consolidate further. It's a possibility. Forces Metals, looks like we're coming to the downside here, breaking out a little bit. Got a little bit of a sell-off here. Looks like we're trying to come and find support down here somewhere. Pure Point Uranium's been bopping sideways right along its support resistance line. Deep Yellow, DYLLF, it opened lower, closed up. That's positive signs of buyers coming in and buying it up a little bit. Not much volume, though. Paladin Energy moving sideways. It's right at support. This guy's trying to break a much larger pattern above it, so it's kind of stuck between this resistance line up there, and as we're coming up, we got support, the support line coming up. Sky Harbor, this guy's right in the tip of this little guy here, up day today, so nice, good bullish piercing for a move higher. I would be a buyer at this tip. That's me. I would be a buyer right in here if you guys like Sky Harbor. NXE, sideways day today, 1.3%. Didn't finish strong or anything, so we'll see where it goes. I'm impartial for a move kind of a little bit lower. We'll have to see what the other set. When I look at these, I look at the entire sector, and I try to make an opinion based off of all the ones that I see. And these have been showing mixed signals. Like the SPUT Uranium Trust was up today, physical uranium trust, but Uranium was kind of not really a large, strong up day in that. Sideways for Canalaska here. Base load's looking really good for a break to the upside. If we can close above this downtrend resistance line, I think we could see a move to the upside. Fission 3.0, FISOF, up a little bit today, a little bit of a wick at the top where we've got some resistance that we got to break through it. Fission Uranium, we're right at that resistance. That's why we have a wick at the top. Came up, sellers came in and sold it back off and finished lower. This could have more downside in it, guys. Whenever you see these types of patterns, like you get kind of this pattern here, and then sometimes they kind of end down and then they break. Is this the end of this pattern coming back down? Or is it going to come back down like this? Tough to say. Tough to say. We'll find out. We've got Camco. This guy's been holding strong. It's right at resistance support line. It's resistance as we're coming back through it. A little bit of a down day today. Kazatomprom, you can kind of see how this thing looks. I mean, to me, it looks like we could go lower and do one last kind of final dip, scare everybody out of it, and then head on up. And maybe we even come back to this guy down here. It's a possibility. If we do that, I mean, that's an excellent entry point if we go back that far. PenMF, just flat today in this trend, downtrend channel. Boss Energy is right at support. I think $1.40 is support. It's probably just bopping sideways with a bunch of support underneath it. Yep, we're right at support. Lotus Resources getting a little bit of an update today, but it was a down. So it opened up. It opened here, closed here, but it was still an up day. Momentum is going down a little bit. Uroy. Uroy is looking okay. A little bit of an up day today. This is a bullish engulfing that I've got circled there. Usually they resolve themselves upward. Encore Energy, a flat sideways day. There's good buying pressure underneath this. If this support holds, hopefully we can get some momentum to the upside. If it doesn't, I mean, we're right there at support. We'll fall to another lower level if this line doesn't hold going across. UU. It's like almost like a shoulder, head, shoulder. That's probably played out already, and now we're just chopping sideways. Up day today, but the momentum is heading a little bit lower. That's why it's a red candlestick there. URG, wick at the top. I mean, I think we might have a down day or two. We'll see how big it is. Highly depends on the overall markets. UEC, a little bit of a down day today. LEU, we're right at the support line. We could break and head a little bit lower here. Yep. LTBR, maybe we go somewhere in this circle. This is a wedge pattern that's coming up, and usually they break to the downside, and we've got good support where that circle's at. ISENF, we're right at support. It's holding. Appia Energy, I threw in this big declining wedge pattern. Hopefully we can break out of this resistance line and move on up. Denison Mines, DNN, one of the kind of a retail favorite. Bullish engulfing looks like it wants to go higher. Blue Sky Uranium chopping sideways. CFF is Forum Energy Metals. Just chopping sideways. It looks like we've got kind of a almost like a little pattern that's chopping here, squeezing up a little bit. Anfield moving sideways, no movement there. Laramide, yeah, I think we could go higher here. It finished quite strong. Doesn't look too bad. Western Uranium doesn't look too bad. Buyers came in and bought up and put the little wick at the bottom. It's kind of a hammer pattern. Potentially could go higher. UEX CF. Just looking at this guy, we did break this support line to the downside. We could go lower, guys. I mean, it is in the cards if the overall markets go lower. It could drag us with it. And then Mega Uranium, this is a bullish piercing, a little bit of an update. We're right at support resistance. This is resistance going back through it. But this thing is squeezing up into kind of a corner here. Squeezing on up. So I'm not doing anything with my shares. I'm just holding on. Again, I look at the big long-term picture. Uranium is still of incredible value. It's probably the best electricity generation source that we know of humans at this time. It's got high energy return on investment. We've got low valuations, uranium in relationship to gold. We could be early in this move. That could be the first leg of a very big move that's coming. Why do I think we're going to continue higher at some point? And why do I think this is a pullback? Because of the market conditions and commodities. Uranium will go higher, in my opinion. The market balances, the deficits that we're running, the inventory that's going to get eaten up. This is an incredible opportunity. And when people are not interested in it, and right now, not a lot of people are interested. I can see my view count goes down for uranium. The interest has gone way down in uranium. I think at some point we're going to see a very good, not just opportunity, because we've got the opportunity here. We're going to see a big move out of this thing, and all the people are going to come rushing back. And a lot of people are going to say, I wish I bought more. I'm not going to say that. I already bought more. I'm continuing to cost average in. I like some of these companies. I like the shares. And I'm just going to hold. I can say that for a whole bunch of different commodities. I like the entire commodity complex, guys. If I were to pull up just a commodity overall, since you guys I know are uranium, and a lot of people, they stick with uranium. I mean, if you look at this overall commodity index, this thing just continues to plug away at it. Just continues to go higher. And uranium is a commodity. It will do well eventually. You just got to be patient. And the whole complex, inflation's coming into the system. We're going to see very high energy prices. Renewables, I was reading, I can't remember, I was reading something on renewables. They have an energy return of 3.5 to 1 when you take the entire, I should say, everything into account for that product. I'm talking like the 30% uptime that they have with the wind blowing or solar. Since they're not 100% on, their energy returns are far, far less. All of the minerals that go into it, the entire source of all these minerals. I mean, I don't even know if we can survive on 3.5 to 1. I mean, it's basically a complete waste of time. This, in terms of uranium, is our savior. It literally is. It will save humanity from dying, literally. So, oil and uranium and natural gas and coal, those are the ones that will do very well over a long period of time. And uranium's got all the icing on the cake, outside of waste removal. What to do with the waste aftermath, but it's all contained. It's the cleanest source by a long shot of any power generation source, by a long shot. Renewables are hazardous. They create a lot of dump and waste. This creates less waste, and we could probably just shoot it in the outer space or something and get rid of it if we had to. But I think people are vastly undervaluing how much energy can come from uranium, and the pricing is completely skewed. And I don't understand why until everyone else figures it out. Then I think they'll come around and be uranium buyers. And if this is included in all the green, like the green stuff, and I think the green stuff will go away. That's my opinion. I think people are gonna want to live, and they're gonna put people in power who also want to support people who want to live. Renewables, we're going to find, is a massive malinvestment. in terms of renewables like wind and solar, with low capital costs, low energy costs, and the subsidies from fossil fuels and their high energy returns to build these big, large pieces of garbage. Sorry, I'm just being honest here, guys. That we have to eventually put in a dump somewhere. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.